Good Monday morning to you, everybody. It's Take Two with Jeanne for this Monday, April the 30th. My goodness, it's the last day of the month already, 2018. I hope that you are geared up for a fabulous week. Well, I've been thinking this morning what I wanted to share with you, and something came to mind when I passed by Walmart yesterday after church, and we were coming home. We passed by the big super Walmart, and I noticed the storefront, and a memory came back to my mind. And that was one time when I was checking out. I had a cartload full of stuff, or as they say here in the South, a buggy full of groceries. And as I was checking out, right behind me online, it was very crowded that day. This is some while ago. And behind me online was this gentleman, and he had two little toddler children, maybe 2-3 years old, and a baby in his arms. He had 3 kids, and he had a giant package of diapers. And this poor fella was just struggling with the grocery, you know, with the big thing of diapers and the children. He was just like all struggling. And here I am ahead of him on the checkout line, and I thought to myself, this is crazy. There's no way that I'm going to let this guy wait for me. So I said, come on, go on ahead of me. And he said, oh, no, that's okay. I said, no, listen, please, go on ahead of me. This is ridiculous. There's no reason why you need to be waiting for me when that's the only thing you have. And he said, are you sure? And I said, oh, yes, sure, of course, go ahead. So he went on ahead of me, thanked me. And I didn't think anything of it. He checked out, and I took my turn, and I went through, and that was the end of it. Well, a couple of days later, I was at Chick-fil-A having lunch with my husband, and I was online, and I was getting ready to do my order, and next to me there was a booth with a man with children, and he said, well, hello again. And I said, I'm sorry, do I know you? He said, yes, don't you remember me? I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't. He said, I'm the man you let ahead of you online at Walmart. And I thought, I had to really rack my brain for just a second. See, it's just second nature for me to let people with one thing to purchase behind me online ahead of me. So I really had to rack my brain. He said, don't you remember I had the kids? My wife was home with the flu, and I'm trying to take the kids to the store with me and buy these diapers. And I said, oh, yes, I remember. He said, thank you again. You have no idea what that one act of kindness meant to me. It cut time in my schedule. I was able to get the kids home, and he went on. And I said, no problem. I didn't think anything of it. And I thought, well, isn't that nice that he remembered me? I couldn't tell you what his face was. I wouldn't have remembered his face. Well, okay, fast forward the next day. The next day, I'm online at a store, and I only had one thing to buy, just one thing. So I walk into this, I think it was like a Dollar General, Family Dollar, something like that, and I had this one item, and I'm at checkout, and I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, oh, that one act of kindness paid off for her, and somebody let her ahead. No, that's not what happened. I got behind a woman who had a cart filled. There must have been 40 things in her cart, honestly. One checkout open, and I'm standing there with my one item ready to check out. And here's what happened, boys and girls. She turned her head, she looked at me and did this, and started putting her stuff up on the conveyor. And I thought, why did you do that, lady? Because she was not going to let anybody ahead of her. And I thought, my goodness, that is so sad. That is so sad that she would have an attitude like that. So instead of letting it bother me, and instead of letting it make me angry and me having attitude back with her, which was so not two wrongs making a right, I thought, well, I'll pray for her, and I'll pray that her selfish turns into selfless. That was my prayer for that woman that day. And I waited my turn, and of course it took about 7, 8, 10 minutes at least for her to get everything up on the conveyor. And then of course there was a price check involved there because something wasn't ringing up right. I patiently waited my turn, and by the time it got to me, I had a good 10, 12 minutes to pray for her, which is what was the right thing to do in that case. And then when it got to my turn and I went to go put my one lowly little item on the checkout conveyor belt, the checkout girl said, "Can you believe that woman didn't let you ahead of her online?" And I said, "Yeah, but that's okay, because I was able to do that for somebody else, and hopefully that person will pay it forward. It's just too bad that some people think that that's what makes them important." And that was a sad thing, but it was a lesson, a real true lesson, that if I could do something kind for somebody else, hopefully they'll turn around and do something kind for somebody, and paying it forward, as I said. So that's my challenge to you today, boys and girls. Go be a blessing to somebody today, because you never know. First of all, you might be the only one who is a blessing that very day. And secondly, you don't know how one act of kindness can set the tone for them for the day. That poor struggling man at Walmart with that package of diapers, he was probably at the end of his rope. He had a wife home in bed with the flu. He's juggling 2 toddlers and a baby in his arms and trying to buy diapers, which is probably a desperately needed, necessary item in that house that day. And one kind deed set the tone for his day, so much so that he was amazed that somebody would do something kind for him like that. Likewise, if I was a person who was vengeful and angry, I might have had my tone set badly when that lady at the Dollar General store gave me a dirty look. And instead of being angry for the rest of the day, I decided it was better to pray for her. And my prayer, as I said, was to go from selfish to selfless. And that's what I'm going to challenge you today. Be kind. And if you see somebody being selfish, pray in your heart that they turn their selfish into selfless, because that goes a much longer way. And you never know. You may meet somebody who has one nerve left and you get on it. You don't want to do that. Instead, temper it with kindness, temper it with love, and temper it with selflessness. And it goes a very long way. Hey, go to my YouTube channel, Jeanne Sigler, JeanneSigler. Become a subscriber. And please tune in to WRMZ.org on the web and listen to some good music, okay? And if you feel so led to do a selfless act today, click that donate button so you can keep us on the air. I love y'all. Happy Monday, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. I love ya. Bye-bye.